is BDevine, of course, and today I am going to be talking to you in an interesting way, and I want to give you some background to this. So I was doing a recording for a person that I'm mentoring and guiding. Okay, so this particular situation, I just started talking to her as though I was talking about doing a system restore on a computer. And I'm going to explain this for you. So when you are connecting with your flame, okay, your original blueprint comes back online. And it's likened to taking your computer at home, and it's full of viruses, it's full of problems and issues, and you're taking it back to a safe space before all of those viruses invaded and all of those issues started coming in and all of those traumas, and you restore your computer back to that date. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be talking to you about, is reactivating the original soul system blueprint, the flame. And we're talking about it as a computer metaphor, because perhaps that will really help you in some way or another. So this is going to bridge the ancient sort of language into the modern language a little bit as well. Now, every person incarnates with a divine operating system. This is your soul flame blueprints, okay? It includes your scrolls, the roles, the memory strands, the energetic protections, direct source connection. Nobody above you. You're just connecting to source completely, right? On your own. And just as a new computer arrives, okay, with clean original software, you're born with this clean original blueprints, okay? Every single one of us. Infiltrations like viruses and spyware and all of these things, okay, happen. And over lifetimes and lifetimes, your system can be hijacked by these false energies, false light, trauma loops, betrayal, abandonment, rejection, collective overlays as well. And these are considered to be viruses, malware, and bloatware of the soul, draining your power, slowing your function, and distorting true guidance. It's like having too many tabs open, okay? Your system keeps redirecting, okay? You got tabs open, the music playing somewhere, you don't know where the music's coming from, right? But this is slowing things down. And what happens when you're on your computer and it's not loading fast, and you're trying to write an email and it keeps on, the whole autocorrect thing keeps on jumping in there and saying duck instead of, you know exactly what I was going to say. I did not mean to say duck, right? But you know what I'm talking about. It like auto corrects, and you're going back over things and it's becoming really frustrating, or your system crashes, or there's a bug, or you know, you go to YouTube on there or something and it just keeps on crashing out, right? This distorts what you're actually trying to do, because you're literally frustrated by all of these other things that are happening in your space. So the restore is the flame reboot and sovereign system override. So flame activation, that I've been teaching you all about, is a system restore. It overrides mimic codes that have been placed on your computer, and viruses and all these, you know, bots and all that sort of stuff, and brings back your original scrolls. You come back to a safe place. You come back where there wasn't any of this nonsense going on in your life. And when that flame sort of comes back online, right, restored, you regain the timeline clarity, your voice authority, your energetic sovereignty, scroll memory, wealth alignment, divine firewall. You're not outsourcing to anybody. You're on a really, really fantastic place, inner place, that you really are able to be completely in control and non-bothered by so many things that you used to be, because all of these tabs and all of these issues and all of these viruses and all these malware and all these programs, betrayals, manipulations, false energies, false light, things after you, whatever it is, how are you supposed to be moving forward, right? Clearly, okay, moving forward in flame sovereignty, if all of these things are still open in your life. And you may think that you're clearing those things, but if you're still emotionally invested in all of those things, they have control of you. So again, flame activation is a system restore. The original blueprints before all of the tabs were opened and all of the BS began, okay, from this and other lifetimes. The guardians are your secure admin protocols, right? So your guardians act like admin level users during the restore. Only the admin can actually do the restore, right? So they monitor the interference attempts. They prevent reinstallation of these, mimic programs. They install divine firewall systems. Got your firewall on? Get it? They guide system healing protocols post-restore and keep it always working in this level. The reboot phase, okay, equals flame integration cycle. So after the restoration, your computer goes through this rebooting, right? It's a reboot now or later, right? We're doing it now. So it goes through testing and updates. New roles and scrolls are installed within your being. Outdated functions, for example, people and practices and scandals and whatever, are dropped. And energy patterns realign the soul authentic service. So you may feel alone and uncertain in those times, I know. But that's just the quiet of that mimic code removal, okay? Some of you have a lot of programming or embedded programs into your being that you have decided are part of you, even though you don't like them. So by restoring your computer, you're restoring your flame, you start to recognize anything that's still trying to hang on, that's still trying to corrupt the system, meaning you, corrupt you. So, as I said, after restoration, the system goes through the testing and the updates, and you might feel different at that. It's like this quiet before there's ignition again. Most spiritual people are still operating on a compromised code. They are operating under a code of a complete virus overload, of software that's been installed that doesn't work properly, of things that they've downloaded and can't open, right? Flame sovereignty is the only system level override there is. It is not a belief. It's not. It's a restoration of the original divine instruction and blueprint. So the flame, again, is not a belief system. It's a full soul system restore. It clears false programming, resets divine architecture, and, excuse me, locks in sovereign scrolls that no one can override. Okay? There can be no tapping into your Wi-Fi from an outside source. There can be no spyware added to your computer yourself. You can't download something and then not open it, right? Everything, once the system is in restore phase, once your original blueprint is online and activated, okay, and forward moving, the defrag process happens. Now, I was talking to this person and making a recording for him, because when you get a phone call with me, you also get a recording of my findings after that. Okay, just things to put things into perspective, or to give you a meditation or something to listen to, an invocation of some kind, whatever it is, you get that, a journal, whatever it is that you need. And I'm talking to this person, and this computer stuff started coming out of me. And I knew that it was connected with everything, obviously, that is really happening here, right? When your system is slow, okay, when your body is slow, let's just say, and nothing is processing, nothing is making sense to you, nothing is sitting right, it's because you have allowed, number one, a whole lot of open tabs, okay, a whole lot of people have access to you, in other words, that you are more worried about trying to solve all of these things than you are about restoring, maintaining, and doing it in an easier way, right? It's more for you about fixing something within somebody else than completely pressing the button and restarting things and rebooting your own life. Now, the way that we've done things for so long spiritually is to channel and to gather information, or to do Reiki or the tarot cards, and everything is depending on an action gets a reaction, right? An action brings us an answer. With the flame sovereignty, what we're saying is we already have the answer. We already are the action. We're already in motion. Okay. Now we just need to clean up our system. We just need to start noticing where there are things that are trying to interrupt us, or things that are auto-correcting us, or things that are coming up to distract us, like the music tab in the background. Where's that music coming from in the background? Just noticing things like this in your life. This is how simple it is. And clicking that system restore. We're going back to the original flame. That's what you're saying to your body. So instantly that starts working. But the moment that it starts working for you is when you start to see the mimic collapse, meaning people who were not on side with you ever. Okay, people who have been manipulating you, people who've been lying to you, people who have not got your best interest at heart, people who are using you become very exposed, because it's mirrored back to them just by proxy. Okay, and so they start getting worse and can't help themselves but to push all that upon you again. Now, at first when it happens, and someone that you didn't expect, okay, sees something that you're doing and sees it in the wrong way or whatever, that's going to, for a second, rattle you a little bit, right? Even bring up some emotion and sadness and like, oh my God, kind of feeling. Am I really doing the right thing here? Okay, it's going to cause that little bit of, at the beginning, it's going to cause that little bit of, maybe I need to restructure something or something just to make this person feel better, okay? Try to resist that with all of your might, okay? Resist the urge to change the settings. Resist the urge to stop the reboot, okay? Resist that urge. And when you can do that, and when you go, you know what, I'm not even answering or explaining this, this person is obviously being shown a mirror of their own behavior and trying to drag somebody else into it or whatever it is, right? It's got nothing to do with me. It's not my monkey, not my circus. I'm still moving in this way. Every time that you do that, you gain your sovereignty and your strength and your inner power and confidence like 10 times over. Which means that the next time there's someone having a hissy fit, let's just say, or they don't like how you are asserting yourself or speaking now or whatever it is, right? It's so much easier to just laugh it off because you know it's coming from their own reflection. Their nastiness is their own reflection. So the more that you can sort of keep it away from you in that way, where it doesn't bother you, to the point where you just delete, you don't reply, you don't explain, you don't try to justify yourself. None of that. It just is what it is. This is what you're doing. This is who you are. And I'm telling you now, okay, when your system restores, it's so much easier for you to release a lot of things that were old and things that were still bothering you. You can look outside of yourself, like you can see. So for example, I can see memories and I can have memories of myself, right? But I'm no longer, I mean, I've been disconnected from my memories for a long time. It's no longer that I'm an observer of all of those things or anything like that. It's that I just have empathy for the first time in my life rather than shame or sadness or whatever. I actually have empathy for myself at that phase of my life, like being a little girl in foster care and then, you know, for example, the first time I was going to see my mum again after all of the stuff that happened, and I was going to see her and I was going to see my brothers and sisters for the first time after being placed into foster care for such a long time, and court cases and all of this as a young girl from being a victim of, you know, really bad abuse. So here I am, I'm in this park, right? And so, I mean, this is a bit, I'm not going to give you all the details, but I'm going to tell you that I'm in this park and this is where I'm going to be meeting them, and they're going to meet me at this neutral thing. And it was all arranged through the foster home and all that stuff, right? And so I really needed to go to the toilet. I'd had a stomach ache all day and I really needed to go to the toilet, let's put it that way. And so I'm in this dingy, disgusting park toilet amenities block thing, but it was really gross. Like it hadn't been cleaned. It hadn't, you know, it was almost like an abandoned old house with everything, you know. But I really needed to go, right? So I go to the bathroom, and it's the first time that this was happening to me at the same time as they're coming, where it was my, you know, I'm like 12, and it was the first time I got my monthly thing ever in my life, and I'm in this dingy, disgusting, old, you know, toilet block, whatever, in the middle of this park, and I just couldn't tell her, and I couldn't tell anybody, and I'm just like, oh my God, like we had done all that stuff at school, and I was like, there was these horrible, you know, toilet paper things that come out of this little, it's hard to explain in Australia, it's a little different, but they come out of this little dispenser and it's like rock hard, and I'm like trying to use this, you know. So I memories like that will just, you know, flash into my mind or something, and then I don't have that attachment of, oh God, you know, I hate that happened and I'm angry. Nothing like that. I'm just like, it's really sad for that girl that couldn't talk to anybody about this or share it even with her own mum, or, you know, was ashamed of it and just was like trying to hide it instead of, you know, going and being and having that, oh, you know, you're finally grown up or whatever, right? It was just yucky. So when I look at that, I just feel this empathy, right? So when you're looking at your life and you're looking at the stories that you have and the life that you've lived and the the sections of it and things, when your flame is restored and you've rebooted everything and you've closed down all the unnecessary stuff in your life, you will have a different viewpoint of where you were, right? And you'll have a different way of looking at it, and that may surprise you as well. If your identity has always been a certain way, if the way that you've lived your life has always been in defense of that certain way, that also changes as well. So let's see here, just 1 minute. So if we understand what, on a bigger scale, or what System Restore does, I'll just read it to you. It acts like an undo button for your PC. Okay, imagine yourself as a computer, okay? Letting you revert system files, settings, installed programs, and drivers to an earlier point in time, i.e. the origin flame. A restore points, which is what that is, to fix problems without affecting personal documents, photos, or music. Okay, so it's not affecting your memories in a sense. It's not affecting what you like, what you love to do, or whatever in the here and the now. Okay, it's just getting rid of unnecessaries. It works by creating snapshots of your system's configuration automatically or manually, and can fix issues from bad software installations, driver conflicts, or updates to those drivers and all of that, bringing your computer back to a stable state. Okay, how perfect is that? It reverts system changes. It undoes recent software installations, driver updates, and window updates. These are all recent things that everybody's pressing upon you, saying, oh, you must do, oh, you needed to do, oh, passive aggressive, manipulator, oh, I'm going to make you feel really emotionally burnt out, oh, you should be doing this, not this, and I was used to you doing this, and now you're doing this, right? It protects the data, okay? Does not delete personal files, like documents and pictures and emails. You are who you are, right? Only better. It uses restore points, so it creates snapshots of key system files, the Windows registry, and settings. Okay? What it doesn't do is back up personal files. It's not a full data backup. It only focuses on components, and it removes all malware. While it might remove recently installed malware, most modern viruses can hide in restore points and reappear, just like the mimics do. The mimic will hide as fake people who are supposed to be your friends or connected with you. They hide there with their big smile and everything, right? They hide there pretending to love you, and then they go out of their way to punish you if you're not behaving in the way that they like. See, so all of those things you just start to become quite aware of. It doesn't bother you. You're not taking it personally as you start getting stronger. Now, so System Restore creates these restore points automatically or manually. When you trigger a restore, it restarts your PC. When you trigger a restore point in your original flame, it restarts your system completely. Without losing your personality and who you are, you just become more grounded, more connected, more sovereign in your energy, more of a leader, less of a taker or a guide or needing answers for anything. You start to rely on the system you built, okay? And you bring yourself back to a safe place before all of this trauma had happened. And it's not that you don't have memories, like I just explained to you, that horrible memory, right? But it changed the way that I looked at it by having a different perspective on what it actually is, and how things like that, those moments of loneliness or being rejected or abandoned or whatever in my life, how they made me who I am now, right? So I have something else to read here. I'm just trying to get back to this real quick. So isn't it interesting? I'm like, oh my God, we're defragging our system. We're making it run smoother. We're having less snags. Right? It works for everything that we're doing here. Okay. All right, so let me just go over it again. So the original operating system, the flame blueprint, your original blueprint. Before the infiltration, the trauma, the mimicry, or distortion, each one of you comes with a pristine, energetic operating system, the original blueprint, the flame blueprint. It includes original memory, sacred roles, energy architecture, and soul source protection. We got it. We ask, we get. We don't have to go through anybody else. We don't need to get anyone's opinion. We don't need to ask for readings. We don't. Okay, that's coming from anxiety, like, I've got to know, I've got to know. Some people use readings to just further evolve. But most people use readings because they don't trust themselves. That's the issue that I have with it. Not beautiful tarot cards themselves. They're all around me. I love tarot cards. It's not that. And if it's your own development and it's helping you to develop and strengthen and grow and get confident and all of those things, that's wonderful. But if it's always consulted, that's where we go wrong. So hang on, let me keep going. So, like an OS on a brand new computer, it was built for speed, clarity, alignment, and truth-based navigation. The flame equals the original system, the original blueprint. It's not an add-on. It's the root structure your soul came coded with. Infiltrations equals viruses, spyware, and bloatware. So over time, the system gets infiltrated with false programming, shame, fear, karma loops, distortions, mimic codes, false angels, fake guides, new age scripting. Okay, it's almost there, it's almost there. Disempowering beliefs. Example, you must heal forever to be worthy. That's not what this is. So these are like malware or spyware running in the background, draining the energy, slowing the function, and distorting the truth pathways. You can't get to where you're going because you've got all of these things interrupting you. People don't realize how much of what they channel, feel, or believe is running on these hijacked scripts or coming from distorted places, right? Again, no protection, no mirror work. You're not getting answers from the right spot. So, the flame restore is the factory reset to this architecture, okay? When you activate this, which all of you who are listening have, if not, do my Flame Foundation free course. When you activate that, it performs that system restore. It clears that false coding on your computer, right? It restores memory. It reboots flame-based discernment, reactivates original protection and scrolls, disconnects from collective AI overlays or emotion-based program. Just like a system restore clears all the unnecessary files and returns to the original operating system, to its purest form, the flame clears spiritual noise and brings you back to the architected soul you were always meant to embody. This is why this is just life-changing. Guardians equal the secure admin protocols, like we talked about. Just as a secure system has admin level permissions to prevent malware from reinstalling, your flame guardians guard the reboot process, prevent the mimic re-entry, activate firewall protocols during restoration, confirm only soul-aligned code is reinstalled or activated. These are not guides offering opinions, they're vault-sanctioned system guardians ensuring that you remain locked into sovereignty. It doesn't mean that you won't get tested. It doesn't mean that people won't come and put all their BS on you and tell you all these stories, because I'm telling you right now, the lie detector in you is going to become extremely powerful. You're going to be able to tell when someone is telling you an entire story, maybe to gain sympathy, maybe it makes them feel better, or maybe they have an excuse and they're just giving you a story, whatever it is, right? You know. And you don't have to let them know that you know, but you are definitely going to know, okay? So, the reboot phase, the flame integration. After a restore, the system often needs to recalibrate, reinstall authentic updates, your roles, your gifts, abilities, okay? The scrolls, the soul documents, all the things start to wake up. It also tests its new security protocols. So real world challenges, psychic attacks, people with their drama and BS and stories and problems and things that you are just not going to be wanting to be listening to anymore, right? This is your flame integration phase. A sacred time where you stop running old apps, roles, people, practices, jobs, relationships, whatever it is, and you test the new scrolls, purpose, wealth flow, voice, memory. Because the flame sovereignty doesn't just, restore, it replaces outdated functions with flame encoded tools. Without the flame, most spiritual people are still operating on a compromised code. They think they've ascended, or they think that they're actually getting somewhere, when they're just running a fancy new age emulator on top of hijacked files. The flame is not a belief, it's a source level overwrite. The flame is not a belief system, as I said. It is a full soul system restore. It clears mimic programming, resets divine architecture, and locks in sovereign scrolls that no one can override. So, right now, what this work is rebooting in the world divine intelligence, the true architecture of who we are as souls. We absolutely saved, restore points, even more restore points in our being to open, and that's what I mean by something's encoded. It opens when you're ready. As you start to embark on your journey, as I said to you, all kinds of people are just going to be like, oh, stop. What are you doing? That's not what we were doing before. What's going on? That's not who you were before. Trying to get you to lower your vibe and explain yourself. Instead of listening to what you're saying or watching what you're doing, or seeing how happy you are and grounded you are and focused you are and driven you are and excited you are and determined, oh no, something inside of them has been triggered because you're restoring yourself. And they may be left behind or think they're going to be, or whatever is the panic, okay? You can't take it on and try to fix it. You can only keep being yourself. As far as my work goes, I'm there for people who want to do the work. I am no longer there or available for people who just want to tell a story. And that's just how it is. Because otherwise, you're wasting my time, I'm wasting your time, nothing's going to happen. But when you're truly ready to restore, I will almost do a backflip to show you, hey, let's do this. Oh, look, we've got this. We've got another thing we can do. Let's open this. Let's get rid of that. Let's just remove all that stuff. Let's look at it. So when someone is saying they want to do it, but they're not willing to, I don't have any time for this anymore. I don't have any time for things that are generating an old version of myself. How can I say that I've gone through this massive restore in my life, changes in my life, but I'm reverting to please people, or people don't understand, or you can't be too harsh, Becky, you gotta, people don't understand it. It's like, well, there's almost a year now of me explaining this and the Soulfire codex and the Temple of the Flame and how things have changed. There's a year's worth almost of videos relating to this that people could really watch and really learn something from. But also what it does is it recalibrates those in your sphere. Because I know that there are many out there that are listening, and it's like, you know what you're doing and you feel the flame and all of that sort of stuff, and you know this language. You know what I'm saying to you. As I said, someone from Botswana wrote me the email of the flame bearer from, it was amazing, like that someone in Botswana, right, knew exactly what I was talking about and was already using this language, already aware of it, and coming forth and activating their dragons and all kinds of things, but already aware of the falseness and the mimic programming and everything. So I know that there are some people that sit quietly, but you're already aware of what I'm saying. Okay? You're already aware of what this is, And you've been waiting for something to change, to shift, to drop. And here it is, right? Here it is. And so many more of you, after I finish the next course that will go after the Flame Foundation, you'll understand your roles. You'll understand what you were really came to do so many eons ago, right? What you really came to do, what you've been doing, how this is assisted, what the earth is doing, how the grid is changing, what this all means, okay? When you do a full system restore on yourself, it's not just a temporary fix or a restart on your computer, right? It is a complete safe point that you've created a long, long time ago, like the destiny code that I've tried to teach you a long time ago as well. You reboot yourself into this vibe, into this pure being of your original self. And architecture comes from this. Things are built from this. Knowledge is unleashed from this. Information about sacred places comes forward. There's so much that I need to tell you that has opened on this planet through doing this work. But I can't overwhelm. It has to be done in a sequence, okay? But if you knew, and I'm telling you now, that the grids have changed, that the ancient dragon flame energy that was laying dormant has been absolutely awakened. Because of this, we are going to see dramatic shifts in our consciousness, in our life, how we operate. Get it? Original operating system comes online. Okay? Let all the things defrag from your energy field that you don't need and come back into your sovereign strength. If you want to work with me personally, there's phone calls available, transmission readings, and deeper mentoring as well. And in the new year, I am doing the Flame Infusion Body and Weight Reset, which is a 4-part series to help you really just naturally and easily come into your being and remove all of these unnecessaries from your life, and also remove a lot of heavier weight that's been within as well. I also offer that as a service separate to the live thing that I'm doing in January. But yeah, always know that you can go to my website and you'll see what's available as well. So hopefully this helped you. We're in a system restore and we are going back to our original blueprint, okay? The proper operating system, upgraded and advanced and ancient at the same time. I thank you all for being here, and until the next time, bye for now. Happy week.